he had shown great promise, so they said, you're going to be a centurion. So he was a centurion. Now, one of the things that I found out about a centurion as I was preparing for this sermon this week was the centurion would carry a stick around. It was about 3 feet long. It was called a vine staff. Now, last week we learned about the vine. Jesus is the vine, and we are the branches. So that's fresh in our mind, the whole thing about a vine. Well, out of this vine wood, this Roman centurion would carry a 3-foot long, like a yardstick kind of, stick made, it was called a vine staff, and he would actually keep people in line with that vine staff. If you look at a lot of old Roman reliefs and things, you'll see the centurions carrying this stick. It was very well known. For us, it would be like a conductor having a baton to lead the band. And what he would do is he would actually hit people with it. And of course, you weren't allowed to retaliate if you were a soldier. And he would hit people and kind of whip them into line with this staff. A very, very respected person. And it was almost considered an honor to be, because it wasn't like beating someone. It wasn't trying to hurt someone. It was correcting someone with the vine staff. You're marching too slow, I come up and give you a swat. And you march a little quicker. You don't pick up your armor when you're supposed to, I give you a swat with that. How many of us look at the correction of the Holy Spirit as a good thing in our lives when God corrects us? And yet that was the kind of faith that they had in this centurion. So he was quite a noble guy, this centurion. So one day he got a visit. He got a visit from an angel of God. And the angel told him that his prayers had been heard and that he has been picked by God, chosen by God for something bigger. And then the angel instructs Cornelius to send the men of his household to Joppa, where there was a certain Peter staying. And he said, when you get there, you'll find a man named Simon Peter, who is residing with a man who's a tanner, and his name is Simon as well. So go and find this Simon Peter. Now, Peter, in the meantime, is at the house of Simon the tanner, and we're told up on the roof praying. How many of you go up on the roof and pray at your house? I wouldn't recommend it. But if you had kind of a house that they have in the Middle East, which is a flat roof that people would go on kind of as a porch to get the cool of the evening and so forth. That's where David was hanging out when he saw Bathsheba. He was up on his porch. So he got to a solitary place and prayed. Now there's a lesson there for each of us. How many of us have prayed today in a solitary place? Can you raise your hand? Have you prayed today in a solitary place? My wife left the house before I did this morning. Usually we come together, but she came down earlier than I did this morning.